Hey, welcome back, comic fans. Mr. Q Comics back with some more show and tell. Today, I've got another old stack of books, stuff I picked up right at the end of 2022, I think, going into the holiday season. Hit up a small collectible show with a local dealer that I'm constantly showing books off from. He does periodic collectible shows around the state, around the Northeast here, and I also picked up some fantastic books from Little Giant Comics in New Hampshire. I mentioned going to their old school comic show last April 2022, which I'm going to be trying to hit again this year if I am not on the road for business. But yeah, some fantastic books at that shop. So before we dive into it, guys, if you're a fan of haul videos, please do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave me some comments, let me know what you think about these books. Okay, so let's start with the books I picked up from my local dealer that I buy from constantly. Probably see him, I don't know, 6 times a year. So did a show. I can't remember where this one was, but one of his local shows at a mall or something like that. So first thing I got was Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. I can't remember why this is a key. I think there's multiple first appearances. It's in really good shape. Don't know what this goes for. This was I just remember seeing this, all the Star Wars hype. It seemed like every book that had a first appearance was like hot at one point. So I think this was like $4. It's in great shape. So I picked it up. Next, we've got a obscure Golden Age book I had never come across before. This is Sparkling Stars. Interesting boxing cover. Who's this done by? This is Morris Weiss cover by Holy Oak Publishing, 1944. Pretty good shape, probably VG range. It was only $12. I knew nothing about it, so I picked it up. I was looking at the series. Looks like they have a lot of covers themed towards boxing. So yeah, I thought it was an interesting buy for $12. So wasn't going to leave behind a book from 1944 for that. This book, man, he has had this book sitting in those bins since I've been buying from the guy, which has been like 5-6 years, like 5-6 years ago. So finally picked it up. It's not pre-code, but it is an EC Comics issue. It is MD number 3, Johnny Craig cover. So this is obviously after the Comic Code's authority. So the subject matter changed. I think there's like 13 issues in the MD series, something like that. I could be wrong, but man, he's had this in there forever. So I finally grabbed it. It's in the very good range. It was like $11 or something like that. So not a bad buy there for a Johnny Craig cover. Next, we had one of the final Amazing Spider-Man issues I am missing from the Bronze Age. Decent copy of 105 with the Spider Slayers. This is probably mid-grade, fine range, Gil Kane cover from 1972. So, man, I think this only leaves me 1 or 2 issues in the Bronze Age here. So I am finally getting down to the end of my ASM run, which, of course, I've left the most expensive books for the end, like the smart collector that I am. So, yeah. If you're just getting into collecting, maybe good to target those bigger books before they keep going up. But anyways, pretty happy with that. And couldn't leave this behind. This book, man, this book used to not be worth a lot, but I've been surprised in the past few years, even before the pandemic, how expensive this book got. And this is a beat up copy, but Wolverine number 8. This is just that classic, kind of modern classic cover by John Buscema. I can't remember if this is the first Mr. Fix-It or something, but definitely one of the most sought after issues of the first ongoing series here. I think I got this for less than $10, so it's VG range. It's really beat up, but still, for under $10 for this, I was definitely gonna take that with me. Okay, I've mentioned a ton of times I'm not a huge DC guy, but man, I love some Joker covers. Picked up this nice issue of World's Finest, number 177. Not only that classic Joker, but you got Lex Luthor there as well. This is a Ross Andrew cover from 1968. Really solid shape, nice mid-grade, fine range, and this was only $12. So I will happily add that into my collection of Joker covers. Then we've got one of my favorite Neil Adams covers. I first saw this book when ETA Nick was kind of showing off a lot of his Neil Adams stuff years and years ago. I saw a video he did, and man, I thought this one was gorgeous when he was highlighting it. It's still one of my favorites to this day. Definitely not a highly sought after one, but I absolutely love it. It is Detective Comics number 412. Something about just the horse on it. Just beautiful artwork. I had this, but mine was much more beat up. I picked it up years ago in a shop in Florida that I'm drawing a blank on. This is probably still mid-grade, but it looks better than the one I had. Probably VG fine. It was only $11, so happy to get a slight upgrade anyways. Gorgeous Neil Adams work there. Another Neil Adams cover here. This is X-Men 59. This is first appearance of Dr. Lycos, who becomes Sauron, I think in the very next issue, actually. Yeah, Neil Adams from 1969. VG range, and this one was like $20. So he always has them. I always get a discount from this guy. He always gives like 20% when you're buying more than like $20 worth. And occasionally, if I'm buying a lot of stuff, we can negotiate a little bit cheaper too. So just a great dealer. Always, super willing to work with you. Great deals. Just always a fantastic experience. All right, next we got a Swamp Thing cover that I thought I was missing. Swamp Thing number 7. This is the first meeting of Swamp Thing and Batman. For some reason, I thought I didn't have this one, which is why I grabbed it. Turns out I did have it, and I just never logged it into CLZ, which worked out, because as the time of I'm shooting this, all the James Gunn DC announcements have come out, and all the Swamp Thing books spiked. So I sold off the extra copy that was in pretty nice shape, but it had some really substantial bends. So someone probably got a really nice book if they know what they're doing pressing, because it certainly couldn't have been pressed out. But gorgeous cover. I love the rights and artwork. I really just kind of collecting the rights and covers from the Swamp Thing run here. So I think that's through issue 10, maybe 11, something like that. 9, 10, or 11, one of those. But there's also some fantastic artwork on those other issues, 10 to 13, something like that. Just fantastic rights and cover from 1973. Next, good timing here, as this movie, I believe, just released last night as of the time I'm shooting this. We've got Avengers 181, first appearance of Scott Lang. This is a really nice copy as well, high VF range that I picked up for like $32. This is one of those awesome George Perez covers where he's got like 20 heroes on it. He just seems to be the master of that, in my opinion. So very good pickup. I think I've got a couple of these now, so I know this definitely spiked a little bit building up to Quantumania here. Quantumania, yeah, so very cool pickup there. Next, this is a nice upgrade for me. Always love this cover. Captain America 113, really nice shape. High fine, somewhere in the VF range. I had a copy that was really beat up, so I was really happy to upgrade this classic Steranko cover. This is from 1969. It's a little bit pricier than what I typically pick up for him, but I think it worked out to like $56. So for me, a higher grade copy of a beautiful cover, definitely worth it. Gorgeous book there. All right, and that is it, I believe, for the collectible show haul. Next, on to some books from Little Giant Comics and Collectibles in New Hampshire. Totally drawing a blank in the town for some reason. But this is a fantastic shop. Just all types of collectibles. Cards, memorabilia, toys. So when you go into the shop, he has like quarter bins out front. It's not your typical comic shop. They don't have pull lists, anything like that. I think they sell some trades, and everything's like roped off, and they give you a little rundown on how they want you to handle the books, because it's basically just all kind of higher end collectible books. So fantastic stuff in there. I think I bought one of these on an Instagram live sale and then went into the shop in person and bought a bunch more. I probably paid cash as well and got a great deal. No sales tax in New Hampshire for you guys as well. So if you're paying cash in there or just buying books, you don't have to worry about the sales tax as well. So some great buys here. We will start with Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos number 13. This just classic Kirby cover, first team up of Cap and Nick Fury. Really nice mid-grade copy. I think it worked out when I bundled it with everything to something like $50, and I see this book go for a lot of money in other places. So super happy to finally add this one into the collection. Just got to be the top book from the run, with the exception of maybe number 1, but just an absolute classic. Love that one. Super happy to finally get that. And now we just got some Golden Age, and he does have some Golden Age in there. So, and I didn't get these in the same trip. I think I picked this one up on a separate trip, you know, flying back in from a business trip. I ran by there, but we got Black Terror #9. Alex Schoenberg. This is probably I think this is like my first Schoenberg World War II cover. This is a fantastic book. This is Schoenberg from Nieder Publishing, 1945. Very cool. It's got the, if you can see it, really faint, Bonnet's bookstore, I believe, which Jason was telling me about. Just a classic bookstore in Ohio. Got their store stamp there. And then it actually has the notes from the gentleman who sold him the collection. Can't really make it out, but it looks like he wrote, it must have been an older gentleman. I assume this was his, you know, personal book from his childhood. He's got all the notes on there. Really decent copy. Absolutely love it. This is probably somewhere in the VG range, and I think I got this for like $450, which, you know, expensive. The Golden Age is expensive, but this is a nice copy. I love the store stamp. I love the notes from the collector on the back. All of that just adds to it for me. A World War II cover. He's punching out the Japanese soldier here. Fantastic pickup here. Last two, I think I got this with the Sergeant Fury's 13. I'd actually picked up a different book and got home and realized it was like missing a page. I don't know how neither of us caught it because I went through the book in the store and it just didn't feel off. I guess I just didn't count all the pages. But anyways, we will start with this amazing Matt Baker cover. I don't know that I have any other Matt Baker covers, but this was on the wall. It was just unbelievable sitting there. Zago Jungle Prince. This is #4. Someone actually wrote the #4 in pencil up there. Beautiful copy. Matt Baker cover from Fox Publications, 1949. This is probably in the fine range. I think he had a really beat up copy as well, but I was like, I'm taking the nicer one home. So all bundled together, I think it was like $500, which I think is a pretty damn good price for a gorgeous Matt Baker cover. This is, I think, one of the more sought after covers. I think it's definitely the top cover of this run. I think there's only 4 issues in this series, but for a nice mid-grade copy of this, I think that was a great price. So, and you don't see it often. I think he actually had this on his wall at the convention last year, and I missed it. It got moved around, and I didn't see it, and he ended up having it in the store. So I was kicking myself for not getting it at the show last year. So super happy to find it there. Awesome book. So happy to add that to the collection. And finally, this is the book I had to swap out. I ended up with Amazing Spider-Man. I'm drawing a blank. First Mysterio 12. I bought that and got home and it was incomplete, which was too bad because it looked really nice. It was surprising. It was missing like 1 page torn out of the back. So went back, we worked out a deal, and I basically swapped it out for this other wall book he had, Captain America Comics what number is this? 43, Sid Shore's cover, Timely Comics, 1944. Probably good. Very good range. I think this is a single staple book. You can see some rust there. It's really kind of hanging on by a thread, but absolutely fantastic. I was eyeballing this, but then, man, I really wanted the trying to finish off that ASM run. So happy it worked out. I think this worked out to all said and done like $1,000 for this book. So super happy with that. Gorgeous Golden Age timely to add into the collection. My first Captain America Comics book. So super, super excited with these pickups to end up 2022. So that is it for the haul, guys. Again, please do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave me some comments. Talk to you soon.